We're going to start this lesson by reviewing and extending what we know about the present tense. And it's particularly important to know your verbs if your intention is to continue with the advanced levels after level 6. So let's assume that you know the endings by now. So, o for I, as in tengo, quiero, hablo, and as and es for you, etc. So we'll focus on the irregular verbs. The biggest group of irregular verbs are those ones where the vowel in the middle gets stressed out. And the proper name for these is stem change in verbs or radical change in verbs. The stem, that vowel stem, collapses and changes. In some cases it's the O goes to UE. For example, volver is to return and it changes to vuelvo. Another example is encontrar, which goes to encuentro or encuentras. And then we have ones where the E changes to IE, as in comenzar, comienzo, querer, quiero. And more recently, we have learnt about the group where the E goes to an I, as in repetir changes to repito, and pedir to pido. This group only occurs in IR verbs, incidentally. So the ones where the E changes to an I, repetir, pedir, that only happens in IR verbs where it does occur. And remember that these changes in all of these stem changing or radical changing verbs, the we version is not affected because we know how to change to we via a different route. Take off the R and add mos. Okay, so quick revise. What's they return? Vuelven, vuelven. What's we want? Queremos, queremos. What's they ask for or they order? Piden, piden. We sleep. Dormimos, dormimos. They repeat. Repiten, repiten. He dreams. And to dream is soñar, soñar, S-O-N-A-R. So what's he dreams? Sueña, sueña. Now there's an extra little group of stem changing verbs which we haven't seen. If the infinitive ends in UIR, then the verb ends in YO, yo. So, incluir, incluir is to include, I-N-C-L-U-I-R, incluir. I include would be incluyo, incluyo, I-N-C-L-U-Y-O, incluyo. You include would be incluyes. He or she includes, incluye, and incidentally that's also he, she, it includes. So the price includes, el precio incluye, Y-E. And also you could understand why why this would happen, because it would sound strange and difficult to pronounce. I-N-C-L-U-I-O, all those vowels together. Incluyo, it wouldn't sound good to the Spanish ear. And other verbs in this group are huir, which is to run away or to flee. Huir, H-U-I-R, to run away or to flee. And construir, to build. Construir. And influir, to influence. So how would we say, I run away when I see him? I run away when I see him. Huyo cuando le veo. Huyo cuando le veo. How about they build without permission? They build without permission, and permission is permiso. Permiso. P-E-R-M-I-S-O. They build without permission. Construyen sin permiso. Construyen sin permiso. How about we build where we want? We build where we want. Construimos donde queremos. Construimos donde queremos. So here, there's no Y included, because we know we just take the R off and add mos. How about the set menu includes a drink? The set menu includes a drink. And set menu or set meal is just in Spain menú. Menú. So el menú is the set meal or the set menu. So how do we say the set meal includes a drink? El menú incluye una bebida. El menú incluye una bebida. How would you say it includes dessert? It includes dessert. Incluye postre. Or incluye el postre as well. Incluye postre. How about they influence me a lot? They influence me a lot. Me influyen mucho. Me influyen mucho. And how about it doesn't influence me? It doesn't influence me. No me influye. No me influye. And next is a set where only the I, the first person, changes. And we already know that, we know the go verbs, where that happens. So for example, salir, all of that verb is regular apart from the first person, which is a go verb, which is salgo. And other ones are tengo, vengo, hago. And then more recently, we learnt ZCO ones. Conozco, conduzco, ofrezco, agradezco. And then we also know the O Y ones. Estoy, soy, voy, doy. And finally, sé, I know. So all of those are irregular just in the first person. So quick revision. How do we say I drive? Conduzco. And what about he drives? Conduce. And I give? Doy. And I offer? Ofrezco. Ofrezco. And we know that the uses of the present in Spanish are pretty much the same as the English, with a few extra uses. So if we want to say how long something has been happening, we use the phrase desde hace with the present. So to say I have lived here for 2 years, we say I live here since 2 years ago. Vivo aquí desde hace 2 años. Vivo aquí desde hace 2 años. Or if you want to say they have played the piano for 10 years, we would have to say they play the piano since 10 years ago. So we'd use the present tense in Spanish. Tocan el piano desde hace 10 años. And the Spanish also use the present tense when we use the present continuous to talk about the future. So in English, we can say, are you coming tonight? Are you coming tonight? And in Spanish, you can't ask that because that can only apply to the immediate right now if we use what's called the present continuous. Are you coming tonight? So they say, you come tonight? ¿Vienes esta noche? ¿Vienes esta noche? So for the future, where in English we use the present continuous, are you coming tonight? What are you doing tonight? The Spanish use the present simple present. So we would say, what are you doing later? And they would say, ¿qué haces más tarde? O ¿qué haces luego? How would we say, it has influenced me for a long time? It has influenced me for a long time. And a long time is much time, mucho tiempo. And so you should be thinking, it influences me since a long time ago. What would that be? Me influye desde hace mucho tiempo. Me influye desde hace mucho tiempo. How about, they have built here for centuries. They have built here for centuries. And centuries are siglos. Siglos. C-I-G-L-O-S. Siglos. Construyen aquí desde hace siglos. Construyen aquí desde hace siglos. How about, I've known him for years. I've known him for years. And here, the Spanish would be a bit more specific and would say many years. I've known him for many years. Le conozco desde hace muchos años. Le conozco desde hace muchos años. How would we say, what time are you coming tonight? What time are you coming tonight? ¿A qué hora vienes esta noche? ¿A qué hora vienes esta noche? What about, are you bringing the food tonight? Are you bringing the food tonight? ¿Traes la comida esta noche? ¿Traes la comida esta noche? And with these questions or sentences referring to the future, of course in English you could say, are you going to bring the food? Instead of, are you bringing the food? Are you going to bring the food? And if you want to say that, then we know that we can translate that in Spanish quite easily by saying, ¿Vas a traer la comida? Are you going to? ¿Vas a traer la comida? So there are a few different ways of talking about the future, both in Spanish and in English.